So last episode we were talking about Japanese spears, and now I want to talk about Japanese swords. So let's start with the most popular one, the Uchi Katana, or more known as katana. The katana, always shown as this OP weapon in movies and anime, can cut through armor like butter, chainmail does nothing to it, and it's just OP. But is this true? Sadly, no, it is not. And the clip I'm about to show you is proof of that. Then why did the samurai use the katana? If it didn't work against armor, what was the reason? Well, the katana wasn't popular before the Edo period. The reason why the katana was popular during the Edo period was because of Tokugawa shogunate made it illegal for swords to be this long, so eventually they turned the tachi into katanas. And Edo period being the peaceful time it was, there was no need for war weapons such as spears and tachis and guns. So the katana became more practical, since, I would like to see you try unsheath a longsword or a odachi or anything like around that size quickly when someone attacks you in the streets. And the katana's size made it perfect, You can quickly draw it out while cutting, and it isn't too short like a wakizashi. And because of the lies the media tell you about the katana, that it was the samurai's main weapon and it's the best sword out there, people started hating on it because it doesn't work in a battlefield. It isn't as strong as the longsword because it wasn't meant to do that. It was meant for self-defense and a sidearm if you lost your main weapon. And even then, the tachi were more used. So the katana wasn't useless, it was just a self-defense weapon like I said earlier. Most people confuse the tachi with the tachi, and that's because it doesn't have any big differences, for someone that isn't an expert. But if you take a katana and a tachi side by side, you can see that the tachi is longer and more curved, and the handle is also curved. And that's because so you can take your tachi out with one hand more easily from a horseback, and is also more curved, so you can cut easily with it. And the next sword is the odachi. And a lot of people confuse odachi and nodachi for the same sword, but it's actually incorrect. The nodachi is just a bigger tachi, while the odachi is a completely different sword. And this sword is a beast. There is a story where a samurai was attacked by another samurai on a horse. And the samurai, the odachi, just cut the horse's leg clean right off, and then bashed the other samurai to the death with the sword. This is what people should compare the longsword to, not the katana. The odachi. And I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm gonna have one last sword to talk about. The nagamaki. It's a pretty interesting sword when you first look at it. It's kinda strange. You see that half of the sword is just handle and the rest is a blade. And you might think, why? Well, that's because longer handle means more handling. And handling is when you have more mobility in your weapon, longer handle, the more mobile you'll be with the weapon. You can do more tricks with it. You can, do more with it. It's basically a polearm at this point. It is said that Uesugi Kenshin liked the nagamaki so much that he made all his bodyguards use the nagamaki. And before they go, I just want to tell you about my GoFundMe. The reason why I have a GoFundMe is because I want to be able to cut stuff with katanas and Japanese weapons too, naginatas, odachis, tachis, because, I want to learn how to use them, and what's the best ways to cut with them. One thing is watching YouTube videos, but another thing is doing it yourself, and that I also can teach you guys more about the weapons if I'm able to do that. So small donation will mean the world to me. With that said, I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new, and I hope to see you next time.